still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue.
It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stunt the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join today. We have a few items lined up to talk about, but because we keep it interactive here, chances are we'll talk a lot about the items we have lined up to talk about, but we have about 45 minutes to get through them. Yeah, but thank you for joining once again. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have 4 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. And I have with me on the panel the captain of the community in Constantine Dantu, and then Tobeho, my South African bro. Quickly, I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat, then get started immediately. Hi to you, to Patrick Joyce. And if you're in the chat, Patrick will be, updating us quite a lot of items. That's what he likes doing. He's always up to date with what's going on out there with the world of football, not just Chelsea. And we have, who else do we have here? Okay, for making sense with Ty. I'm sorry, I can't see your comment on the main screen for some reason. But that's, by the way, big up Dante. I do hope you're doing well. Tobeho, you too, I do hope you're doing well. And thank you for joining me on the panel for this morning's conversation.
Yep, big up, guys. Hope you're well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I can't
big up,
complain.
big up.
Yeah, Tebeho decides to go by the name. He was Mauricio Pochettino before he changed it. All right.
He
Before
must be going in
we,
other chat groups, maybe trolling somewhere. Maybe he's on the prowl, I think, in other chat
Ye-
groups, maybe.
yeah, this particular report, we did talk about it, not at length, but we discussed reasons we believe it's never going to happen. It has to do with his salary. It has to do with the fact that he'd have plenty of options of options on the table for him, and plus he plays in a position where you could argue we have numbers there, so we don't need them, and the salary will be an issue. So now we're learning from the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, which reads from Brazil. They mentioned Chelsea as a possible solution for Rodrygo, but at the moment, what I am getting from Chelsea sources is very clear. Chelsea are not in negotiations with Rodrygo, as Indy Kyla and his team told people yesterday, but we knew already when we read it again. He has a bad reputation. He's full of shit, and he reads, and are not in talks with Rodrigo's camp or Real Madrid. Anybody on the panel want to add something to that?
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, Tobago knows. I know. You know. Most people know, but that it wasn't true. It's just a bit of news. It's international break, so they're just making some stuff up. Um, it is what it is, but it's just that's all it is to me. It's just a bit of nonsense, to be honest. I don't see us going for him, uh, price wise, salary
He
wise, but
wouldn't want to
even
come either because there's no space.
no, and even the way he plays, a bit slow, is a bit can be a bit lazy. But look at his numbers the last 2 to 3 years, coach. I mean, if you can't do it in Spain, are you going to do it in the Premier League? Like,
That's a
I
very important question, really.
yeah, look, if you're not doing, and I think he's had like 10 goals, 5 assists, 8 goals, 4 assists, and then I think the last good year was back in 2000. That's a long time in football, so I mean, I just don't see any uh real hype for him, to be honest. Some people I see, oh, he's a superstar. You've got to take it when you sign a superstar. Is he a superstar? To me, sorry, he's not. I mean, there's no numbers to back that up at all, in my opinion. There's just no numbers. Look at his numbers at Real Madrid the last 2, 3 years.
Yeah,
They're
we did
bang
compare his number
average.
to that of Gittins actually, and tell we told the audience at the time that yeah, we'd be better off signing Gittins.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and I would sign Gittins. Yeah, like I said, for those reasons: price, the way he plays, the style, his style of playing, but also just output. It's just not good enough, in my opinion. So there's just simply nothing to it. I don't think we would go for a player like that. I just don't see it unless it's a very, very. It's too good to say, but then the player would not accept to that because there's no way he would come to that. He would want to go to another really, really big team after experiencing that. That will pay him the salary he's got, maybe even more. So yeah, it's not happening. I'm sorry.
Fabrizio did report though that City were interested.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
can pay probably the salary, no
hmm
problem.
But
Bonus money, no
we
problem.
just I don't think we can. But we these days we offer heavily incentivized salary. You earn what you work for. That's how the way I like to put it. So to simplify it in a manner that people understand it. Here's something
Yeah.
else I wanted to say. The fact that he struggled to get minutes under Ancelotti, and the same thing is happening under Xavi Alonso. I think it'd be correct to say something is wrong on his end.
Well, coach, in my opinion, he's comfortable. Simple as that. He's too comfortable. So he's
Hmm.
living the good life in Madrid. He gets a lot of money. He's like a celebrity. He's just comfortable. He's not showing it on the field. Uh, Even in games, he's not showing it. And like I said, for the last 3 years, he hasn't done nothing
He's not
basically.
playing like he's hungry.
No, he's just
He's playing like
comfortable.
he's arrived.
Correct. He's just comfortable, and I mean, you're playing for Real Madrid. You play a lot of pretty bad teams in Spain. Even though you don't play that much, your numbers should be very high anyway, because the team and the attacking players around you as well. So yeah, look, I think he's just comfortable, and he's going to move, but who knows where or what. Don't be surprised he goes to like Saudi for a big paycheck. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. All right, Ty, thank you for joining the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. And we have Jay in the house. Jay, thank you for joining the conversation. And Jay here says he's on 20, yeah, 20, around 20, 320K euros per week. Yeah, that's a lot of money already. Hi to you too, Eugene. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. I don't know. Tabejo, anything you want to add to the Rodrigo story?
Yeah, I said it before. This doesn't make sense because we don't do that at Chelsea anymore, giving players high wages and stuff. So doesn't make sense. And also, if we just sign Garnacho and Gittings, so what about them? If we sign another third winger for a big
And
money,
we do
so it
have
doesn't
other
make sense.
players who are capable of playing on either flanks, which means we have more than enough numbers there. And Quenda is still coming. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Exactly, when they're still coming, and then if maybe we want another winger, we can give that academy boy Derry a chance because he's been having some good numbers. I'm just saying he's still young. Yes, he needs to develop bodies for the future. So why should we buy another player for a huge fee and high wages? So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't in so many ways. Um, More likes, people. More likes. Eugene, nice to see you, my assistant. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. You've been constant of late. I hope everything is okay on your end. We have to S, my Kenyan bro. I do hope you're doing well. He says, "Yo, everyone. Rodrygo is off from a bit. Off from a beat. Okay. For 2 seasons right now, I'd say no longer off from. Maybe you're correct. Maybe it's just." Yeah, what Dante said, he behaves as if he's arrived, nothing to learn, and all that. So this one is more not news. You could call it that if you want to. It reads, it's only that's I think that's Vincent's opinion, which reads, it's only a matter of time before we see Palma, Yamal, and Estevao in the top three fighting for Ballon d'Or. But this says the most valuable, that is the graphics is using the most valuable players, under 18 players. Yamar is 200 million, Kubasi 18 million, Estevao 60 million, Mastantuano 50 million, and Ethan Waneri 45 million. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, really. I have to be honest with you, but apologies, guys. We started a new format where we look at the comments on the reports were addressed to see to get to see what the fans are saying. On the Rodrygo report, Ayo Kunle here says that because they know that Chelsea is the only club in England that the Brazilian players succeed very well. Okay. And Black Heritage is saying it's actually happening. It's not gonna. Did he not read the report, or, or did I read it backwards? We're not in talks with him, and Black Heritage is saying it's actually happening. All right. And Jane Orman says, "Are we a club of wingers only? Talks now should be about CBs and goals, CBs and goalkeepers, and possibly a bullish striker. Otherwise, no need." I think the report already says, um, we're not looking to sign him, but I get it. People, web surfers, as again, I preach, are very lazy. They just scan the first line, or in some cases, just the picture is what it will be enough for them to say, "Oh, we're looking to sign the player in question, Rodrygo." Go ahead, Tabel. Were you still speaking? All right, let's read. This Jay here says that Quenda, Pies, and a few exceptions, academy kids will be added to the attack. No place for Rodrigo, not at all. It's not going to happen. We usually, you could say, discuss such topics to educate our followers. You could say give them our opinion on what we believe will happen. For this particular report here, but before I do that, Jay also says it's just an attempt from the player's agent to headline his availability and put pressure on Madrid. Pressure on Madrid. I think that may well be the case. They do that. This one here is funny. I don't think we need him either. I think we're loaded in that department also. But he reads that's according to Graham. How'd you pronounce it? Graham Bailey? Graham Bailey. He says, I've been hearing that Chelsea have been following Endrick's situation for weeks and are ready to offer him the chance to rebuild his career in West London. He went on to say, I think Chelsea have room in their star-studded squad for another striker in January, and I am now told that they could be the ideal place for Endrick to kickstart his career. Is that possible, really? We have
I don't think these people pay attention that
they don't
Emega's
pay
coming.
attention. Yeah, but go ahead. Let's hear you, Dante. Take it. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, look, well, we got Emega coming. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, crystal clear.
Yep, we've got Emega coming end of the season. Could be even in January, you never know, but most like the end of the season. So, I mean, to say that we have more room for more striker like that wouldn't leave Real Madrid, only if he's probably go somewhere as pretty much a starter. As these guys, that's if they leave Real Madrid, they're not going anywhere else, especially with the salary that they're on. So, yeah, a lot of these reports, they don't take into account that we've already actually signed another striker, and that's Emega, and he will be coming at the end of the year.
If you don't mind, it's pronounced Emera.
Emega.
No, it's
Emega?
Emera. I
Okay.
disagree.
Emigoat. I call him.
But yeah, but I get it. I know who you can. Once you say that, I know who you're talking. Tavil, I don't know if you have anything to add to that. I don't want Dick Skeet at Chelsea. I don't want him. If again, his case not that different from that of Rodrygo. If he struggled to get minutes under Ancelotti and still struggles to get minutes under Xavi Alonso, then something is wrong on his part. Maybe he's not as
Yeah,
maybe he's not humble. You get my point there. Go ahead.
yeah, he had a chance to come to Chelsea and then they rejected. So let him suffer at Real Madrid or wherever he goes to, not at Chelsea.
Yeah, Dante, you get my point there. His case isn't that different from that of Rodrygo. He didn't
Pretty
get
much.
much minutes
Yeah.
under Ancelotti, and same thing is happening under Xavi Alonso. Then something is wrong on his part. Maybe he's not good enough.
Not good enough, not ready yet. Wrong attitude. Again, another player that's quite.
Wrong attitude is another serious factor because yeah, I think that must be the case because the sort of hype, my goodness, the publicity and everything. I think if he's humble, I think he'd be getting minutes because they'd like to follow up such measure of hype and publicity to prove that yeah they spent their money well. But go ahead, what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, another one. Very similar to. Obviously, Rodrigo has been there much longer, but he hasn't. This guy hasn't produced either. Hasn't done nothing. That looks quite comfortable there. When he comes on, he's yeah, he just doesn't really track back or anything like that. A very made for that sort of country system. These kids are too comfortable and they get paid a lot of money. Their heads are very big and they're fine with it, to be honest, for now. So,
Would it
you
be correct to say that in this case, it
know,
probably?
Premier League, no chance. The way he
Mhm.
played.
I'm saying, would it be correct? I think it'd be correct to say in this case, he went to Madrid with the mindset that he's arrived, nothing to learn. That probably he's going to be starting games or something like that. Because if you told him at the time that he'd be
Yeah,
looking to
yeah,
go out on loan, I think he'd say you're crazy.
exactly. That was the plan, but unfortunately, he just hasn't got the opportunity with a couple of different coaches as well. So it's obviously there's more there training, the way he trains, how professional he is. There's a lot of things, and obviously something he's doing wrong. So yeah, like Tobago said, good luck to him. Stay at Real Madrid, being comfortable, getting paid a lot, or go somewhere. But see, these like you said, these type of kids, if they go somewhere, they still think they're like a superstar. They want to be the main guy as and starter wherever they go.
They're not gonna. Yeah, I think I agree with you. They're not gonna be humble enough to know that the reason they live in Madrid in the first place is to go, learn, get better. So, but they leave Madrid with the mindset, yeah, I'm coming from Madrid. I should be a starter for you and all that, which on its own can, you could say, be problematic for them, unfortunately. And I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember the last time a player. Um, Left Madrid and went on loan to some other club and later on come back and succeed at Madrid.
Not too many, no.
And yeah, I don't remember. There's who was that again? Is it a Frenchman? Who was that? And then there's also that striker. Was it the sign from Frankfurt?
Jovic.
Jovic. You see it again. There's also I think a left back. Is that guy a left back or what position does he play?
And
There
the
are
left back, yes. There's been a few. That's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
it's
So once you go out
yeah,
on loan, it's like that's it. It's like that's a way to, you can say, once you get to a point where a player has to go out on loan, it simply means that person is not good enough for Madrid and never going to be good enough. Because I can't remember any of the players that went out on loan and came back, and yeah, not too many, maybe if any, has happened.
Yeah, once you leave there, that's pretty much it. Yep, simple as that. You don't leave Real
Wow.
Madrid otherwise. No.
Right. Ty says we don't need Endrick, but that's unkind to say. Let him suffer. Who said let him suffer? I don't say that.
Go away, Ty. Go away,
Yeah,
Ty.
just go away, Ty. And if he has to suffer to learn, yeah, he has to. Yeah. A big up to you too, IB. Nice to see you. I do hope you're. Is this LB or IB?
No, this is IB. This
IB.
is IB, coach.
No.
Yes.
Is it IB or LB? But IB, right? Okay.
IB, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Jess says we need to go all out for Elliot Anderson or Watson as a proper cover for Caicedo. Personally, I've given up on Lavia, and we need to replace him soon. This will be my number one priority. We still have Essugo. Essugo is the closest thing to Caicedo. I don't think we'll be looking to sign another, you could say, proper DM maybe. And at this point, I don't think we're going to give up on Lavia because he's still very young. Um,
And it's not
and
like it's not like this season's finished. He's going to be out for a few weeks, and then he'll be back.
is it
So,
really a few weeks?
like,
I heard months.
yeah, I heard it's
No,
1 month. 1 month.
1 month.
Okay, then not bad really.
Yeah, so he'll be back. I mean, if it happens again and again, different. But I mean, it's not a season-ending injury or anything. So yeah, I mean, they're going to stick to that. I think they're not buying any defensive midfielder, in my opinion. And I think Essugo will be back as well. I think December or January, sorry, as well. So
Yeah, and Essugo is again. I wouldn't say his profile is unique, but he's the closest to Caicedo in terms of shielding our defensive line. Um, Lavia is unique, yeah, because he's excellent at beating the press and all that. He's more of again a hybrid of 8 and 6 than a traditional 6.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring him, send him to Strasbourg and rebuild. I don't think he's not going to come to Chelsea if he's not guaranteed a place. Like Dante said, they feel like, again, because, yeah, they're leaving Madrid to go on loan somewhere else. They feel like you could say, they believe in Madrid with that mindset that they should be starting for whatever club they end up joining. And that's not going to happen at Chelsea.
And I can guarantee you, Endrick would not go to Strasbourg, a club like that. He thinks he's too good for that. He would never go there in the first place.
Yeah. So Tai is saying Essugo is a mixture of Lavia and Caicedo based on profile. If you haven't already, Jay, you can always check out Tai's video on Essugo from a few months ago. Ideally, after this season, after this stream. Okay. That's you telling him when you want to go watch it. That's funny, Tai. All right. What are Chelsea fans saying here? I think, have we read it?
Just on the other thing, sorry, coach, just to add to that, like look at the difference of Andre Santos, for example, young, but was coming up as a star, but he was okay to join Chelsea and go on loan to a less team. He trusted the process. He's very different from those players because he got married young. He's got his second kid, I think, on the way already at 20 years old. So very different mindset, very not up himself like that, like those other players that, it's either Real Madrid or nowhere else, basically. And that's where exactly they got it wrong. And that's where it's gone wrong, to be honest. They think, like you said, too highly of themselves. And that happens quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, and look at Chelsea fans. Emo is saying I'd gamble a chance with Endrick, but I'd first send him to Strasbourg. Would he want that? No, because if he starts negotiating with you, he would want to know what your plans are for him. And if the moment you mention Strasbourg, I think he'll bail. Chelsea, relax, please. Robinson Marriott doesn't want Chelsea to do that. Muiwa says, is Endrick a striker? We don't want another eight who would be playing as a striker. I'd rather Chelsea work on Kobe Maino than this one. Listen, if in fact we're interested in signing Endrick, it'd be for business reasons, not necessarily because we need him. So I don't see him coming to Chelsea. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dante. If they start talking with his camp, he would want to know what our plans are for him. And I
Of
think if it
course.
involves this aspect, is just an opinion. But this aspect that I'm saying, if we mention him joining and then going out to learn someone else, I think he will bail.
Of course, coach. He wouldn't consider, like I said, he won't even consider that. There's not even close. No chance this is happening. It's basically 99.9%. I think that it wouldn't happen. So, uh, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like with all the stuff we mentioned already, that why it wouldn't happen. Yeah, these guys will not go anywhere like that and do anything like that. If they do leave Real Madrid and they'd go, they'll want guaranteed starting position, basically.
Yeah, I be saying that Lavia is very unique. The only thing, let me remix that. The only thing he didn't do there is add indeed, because I said Lavia is unique. He he only he's the only guy that plays twice a year. As Rodrygo would say, he's a part-time player. And
Yeah, there's been a few of those. Reece James was the same. We were saying the same thing about Reece James as well. So there's been a lot like that.
yeah. Let's see. Some people think that all Brazil players have the same mindset as well. We tend to get some very humble Brazilian players whenever we do sign any. William
Exactly.
Estevão Silva. Yeah, Silva is very, very humble. Estevão, very humble. Santos, humble. Pedro, would I say João Pedro is humble? I think I just stick with João Pedro is he's a smart guy.
I
I
think he's
wouldn't go to the
professional
measure.
more than that. Yeah, he's just a pro.
Yeah, he's just a pro. I wouldn't go to the measure of saying that he's humble. I don't know him personally, but from my observation, I would not say observations. I wouldn't say he's humble. That's just me. You have every right to, think that he is humble, but yeah, that's just me. I don't know him, but I can't for Estevao, I can say yeah, definitely is the way he speaks things, he said. And Andreas Santos, yeah, the fact that he went on loan to was a Premier League club that didn't use him. He on his own decided to go out on loan to Strasbourg. Yeah, that shows humility, in my opinion. So I'm not sure, João Pedro. I could be wrong, and chances are you're correct, but I'm just gonna stick with I'm not too sure. That
Yeah,
is
João Pedro is a bit of
humble.
a gangster in a way, even off-field stuff that he does, as in
Yeah, if you follow this career from Brighton
correct.
days, Watford, and all that, you'd know that. Yeah, the way, yeah, even some on-field, again, stuff, you know that. Yeah, that's not a. We're not saying again I'm not by any stretch of imagination saying that he's a bad person. You know, yeah. But let's see. Jay says sorry, but if you think Lavia will be back waiting for almost 3 years now, you're just waiting for Caicedo to run into the ground. Here's the thing. But it's
Not just Lavia.
if we want maybe like for Lavia, then yes, maybe we need to. If we believe then he's never going to be fully fit, then maybe we should start looking. But I think eventually we'll find a solution because they're not just going to be treating him and send him back to go. Okay, you're ready now. Go try again. I think they're going to be studying what's going on to find a permanent solution to it. Just like you could argue. Enzo Maresca has figured out Reece James is better deployed as a midfielder rather than playing as a fullback where he'd be running a lot. And we tried to explain to people at the time, but they weren't paying attention. And I'd argue that the reason he stayed fit till now and not sidelined is because, yeah, Enzo Maresca used him primarily in the midfield. But Chelsea fans were going, whoa, whoa, why is he playing the best right back in the world in the midfield?
Coach.
Yeah, that's
Nice
what.
accent there.
But that's what they've been saying. But you heard
Yeah,
the
of course.
manager
Yeah.
say during his latest interview that yeah, he had to start utilizing him where he doesn't run as much to avoid him getting injured again. And I'm concerned Thomas Tuchel is going to end up costing us a problem there. But let's get Bobby's opinion on the rumors where we're at, because we have about 50 minutes to round up. Bobby, thank you for joining us on the panel. We're talking about this report by Graham Belly. I don't know whether to trust him or not. He's saying that, let me read it out so you can hear me, but I do hope you're doing well. It reads, I've been hearing Chelsea have been following Endrick's situation for weeks and are ready to offer him the chance to rebuild his career in West London. And the second paragraph reads, I think Chelsea have room in their star-studded squad for another striker in January. And I am now told that they could be the ideal place for Endrick to kickstart his career. For plenty of reasons, I don't think this makes sense. We're not looking for starters in terms of we're not, you could say, we're not looking for people to fix anymore. I think we've moved past that stage, and in this case, at this point, I don't think even Madrid, I don't think they'd be ready to let him go, because if they say they want to sell him, I don't think we'll give him anything close to how much they paid for him. But Bobby, let's hear your thoughts on the possibility of Chelsea signing Hendrick.
Yeah, big up, guys.
Big up, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, the Endrick story is not new, is it? It's been doing the rounds since the later part of last season. Um, oh, do we need him? I think he could do well with us. Our team fits his profile. How much of an actual striker is he? Is something that we haven't really seen. But I know being Brazilian, he probably will offer a lot of flexibility. And you know me, I'm all about the three striking option. I think Delap needs somebody to compete with. And I think he would be a good person to compete with in that he's flexible. He can rotate between the 10 and the 9. I know some people will challenge that, but I think he's more than capable of doing that. So it's not a purchase that I think would be wasted. I don't know what his wages look like. That would be a stumbling block, and probably this is perhaps just a rumor being put out there from his agents due to the lack and frustration he's feeling due to lack of game
Game
time.
time.
But you know, how old is he now? I think he's older than Esteval, isn't he? He's about 19
Let
or
me
so.
check.
Should be about 19. So
He's
is
19, yeah.
yeah, so is he being a little bit impatient? I would say that if he was getting a sniff at all, but he's not getting a sniff. He's not coming
And,
off the
and that,
bench.
that's the second manager, Ancelotti and now Javier Alonso.
Yeah,
When you say that probably something is wrong on his part, either he's not good enough or something else.
I wouldn't say that. He's not a
Okay.
Spanish boy. He's in a star-studded Madrid. You don't know what the terms of the contract are for people like Mbappe, who are known to be on super wages.
hmm
And you just don't know. There's Mbappe. There's I've forgotten the name of the other striker that they've retained. He did well for them in the Champions League final a couple of seasons ago. They've kept him. You know, there's so many people ahead of him in the striking position, on the flanks, and in that 10 role.
They don't really
So,
have much depth, Bobby. Yeah, they don't have much depth at all, to be honest, up front.
In that
So
front
well,
area, right?
well,
yeah, exactly.
this is where we always beg to differ. I think they do. You know, Madrid, a lot of people do not really tend to know about Madrid's somewhat reserve players, if you want to use that word, until they suddenly sneak up on you. Like, is it, what's the name of that guy on the left flank? That is certainly benching Rodrygo now, that came through their academy. There are a lot of players that they have in their squad within their youth system that they bring up as well. And I think Rodrigo Endrick is a casualty of that. Having said that, if he was good enough, if he really was good enough, like that kid on the left that we saw in the Club World Cup, he would be at least getting opportunities to shine and challenge the likes of Mbappe. That's not happening for whatever reason. I wouldn't like to think it was ability. I think it's probably more attitude than ability, but I don't know. However, having said that, he's not getting a sniff in the Brazilian national team either. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'll speak back on myself. Maybe you're right. He has a problem because nobody really seems to fancy him since that big money was spent on him.
Yeah, I don't think we should go for him. And he's still. I'd rather we keep Mike Gee. He's taller. Mike Gee is taller, more physical than him. Um, I think if in fact we're interested in signing him, it'd be for business reasons, not necessarily because we want to sign them and integrate them into our first team. We signed Emera. Emera is taller, better aerially. Emera more technically gifted than him. His
Can I add something?
here's my biggest issue with Endrick.
He's only
He's
five
you
eight,
could say
coach, 5'7". He's so short, Endrick, as well.
Oh
yeah,
well,
exactly.
that me, that discounts him for me
Well,
completely.
that's why I'm
Here's the thing,
surprised
Bobby.
you're backing him.
He's a number 9, right?
No.
But he doesn't have those. You could say he's not the most technically gifted number 9, and I'm
Mm.
not sure what Madrid saw that they paid 60 million. Well, how much for
Well,
him?
the
Euros for him?
75, 75.
75. I
There was
wouldn't
a
pay
lot
it,
of
and
hype.
that was why at the time, even before Estava arrived, I was telling people we signed the better player because this guy is more of a power player.
There was a lot of hype, and Madrid paid the hype. One thing I want to get back to that you've just mentioned, which intrigues me, the Mark Gui situation. Now, I'm not one of those that gets on Maresca's back. Oh, play this guy, play this guy, play this guy. Oh, if you can't play him, sell him. Then he goes somewhere else
Now,
and
to give me 1 minute, I'll be
sits
back.
on the bench. What I
Sure.
want to know is what is actually going on with Gui, because there are times when he's been on the bench and the opportunity is there to use him and he doesn't get used, which kind of confuses me. Is it truly that he has a bad attitude in training, which I struggle to believe? Or I don't know. I don't, yes, he's been
But,
used, but
But
not
when are you talking about, Bobby?
but
When? The last couple of games? Or you're talking about the
the
five
last
previous?
game, the last game against Wolves.
he
Yeah,
played
he
against
played. He
Wolves
came on.
How
He
did he
played,
come
yeah.
on?
He finished the game.
Yeah,
He
okay,
15
well,
minutes or 20 or 10
yeah.
minutes, something
And,
like
and
that.
and Bobby, there's something a lot of people aren't paying attention to.
hmm.
Enzo Maresca is an idealistic manager. It takes a lot. It's not that simple to understand how he wants his players to play. You see, you were the one that talks about how Carragher was analyzing how only top level managers are able to train players to rotate positions like they do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
and
all
if you
for that.
understand his approach overall, Mark Gee lacks the most important aspect of what he requires in number 9, dropping deep, participating in the play, able to create chances for your teammates because our front area will almost always be fluid. But in this case, the only reason he gets a lot of chance under Maresca is his ability to press and press effectively. And Dante will be for the first to remind you. And because of the way he presses, in a few minutes he gets tired.
It's sad, yeah.
So eventually, if he'll start seeing a lot more minutes, but a lot has to change. But he will still get minutes here and there, but it's gonna be hard to come by. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, I mean, I was just asking the question because I like him as a player. I've always liked Mark Gay. I think, he's also one that's extremely young. What is he now? He's probably 19 still. This is a young kid, but I just want to see a little bit more of him. I think he has a future, but we've got to let him have that future.
But at the same time,
Um,
you want the manager to win and win convincingly, which means he's going to pick the players who
well,
he believes are capable of implementing his approach to a
I'm
T on the pitch.
I'm never one that has anything to say about rotation.
But
I'm
you're
an
just
ardent
concerned
I'm an ardent believer in it. I like all these people. Just yesterday, I was arguing with someone who play. Yeah, he has to start Enzo. Sorry, Esteval. I'm like, look, listen. This guy's just come. He's young. He needs time. This is a physical league. Yes, he's up to the physicality, but don't go and injure him because he's giving you a few. He's giving you a lot of potential. Ease him in slowly. He's 18 years old. So I'm not one to insist on a player playing. However, having said that, when the window of opportunity opens to use him, I would like to see him. And if as you've said, okay, he played the last 10 minutes against Wolves. I don't know why that completely has gone out of my head. I can't remember it, to be honest.
because you wanted
Um,
to see him more.
it would have been nice. I think it was a game he would have thrived thrived on, because they were trying to sit back and do silly things. And if they came forward, he would have had the space to do his damage. Yeah, I remember he did come on because he nearly scored from a ball that I think it hit the post. And he's very good at that, going to meet the ball in the box. Look, I like the kid. I think he has a future. I think we should persevere. I know we're not into we're supposed to have gone out of the developmental phase of our plan, but somehow we put ourselves back in it with our left wingers. And I know I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to argue with Dante today. We've had the argument.
Even me,
Uh,
because yeah, it's going to be three
and you
against one.
okay, all of you. Okay, well, I've had
Yeah,
that argument. I've had the
Bobby. Another,
argument.
another. Go ahead.
No, I thought you were going to talk about his performance against Wolves.
No,
I answered your question. I have no
yeah,
issue giving flowers to a player I have completely hammered. None whatsoever. If they perform, if they do well, Chelsea do well. That's my objective.
Here's the
And
thing. If you remember, I told you that eventually you look back and say Garnacho is actually a good signing. And
well,
more
we're not there
importantly,
yet. So
one thing
we're
people
not there.
overlook is that he has Premier League experience. He
Well,
wasn't a bad player at United. He wasn't at 19. He wasn't 20. He wasn't a bad player at United. The issue has always been Manchester United, and people are beginning, even pundits and former players are beginning to say, yeah, it seems like everybody that leaves United starts doing well. So maybe the problem has always been United.
well, he had a good game against Wolves. That's for
I
sure.
don't I don't think actually since he joined us he's had a bad game. He's had okay games, and by every time he gets to play, you see an improvement. You see him play better than he played in the last game, and then the last and against Wolves, he was brilliant. But the truth remains, he's that sort of player. Once the opposition don't defend deep, once there's space to exploit, he's capable of exploiting it effectively. And one thing I've told people, he's going to get a lot of assists because I checked his United numbers and checked a lot the way they missed chances there. Had they been more clinical, he would have ended his United career with twice as much as the number of assists he had. Again, he finished his career with there. But go ahead, what you were saying, so we can
Well,
get done and round off soon.
the
I'm
last
going to
bit
go
I'll
help my
say
boys
is
get ready. Go ahead.
The last bit I'll say is the acid test for him, for me. I'd really like to see how he's going to do against Barcelona. And what's that right back they have that we
Have you
wanted?
heard about his record against them? You need to go check it.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't. How
Yeah,
often
he
would you
has
have
fine
played?
record against them. Go check it. I think he
Yeah,
knocked them out. What year was that?
well, let's see.
Yeah.
That's because
He's
that
a big
guy.
game player actually, Bobby.
Well, we'll see.
Mm.
I'm yet to be convinced. I gave him his flowers, but I won't go overboard.
All right. All
I'm
right.
not
Dante, you
gonna.
wanted to add anything to that? We have a lot of comments that I need to catch up with so we can try a round off as soon as possible.
Okay.
No, coach. We're all
no.
good. Let's
I just wanted to.
those comments.
You thought about you said what?
Go on, Tobago.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something in terms of Magui, right? My only issue is that I remember Chelsea fans were saying him and Joao Pedro need to start together, and they started together against Sunderland. What did they do? Nothing at all. They
They
were
look
both
lost.
horrible in that game. They looked lost, and that's the reason why we lost the game, because our most attacking players were off. Like they were passengers, ghosts, doing nothing. So at the end of the day, I think Mark is a good player, but he's still raw. So I think for him to do well, he need to go to Strasbourg maybe next season when we get a mega, so that he can develop further playing regularly. But at Chelsea, I don't see the future for
I
him at
don't
the
see it
moment.
either. I thought otherwise when he joined us, but I don't see it now clearly. Especially on the Enzo Maresca. If Mourinho was our manager, you say maybe he get a future because yeah, he's a powerful player, and Mourinho likes that sort of player. As long as you can put the ball in the back of the net, yeah, all that aspect you could say skill set secondary. But go ahead. All right.
Well, at
So
least if you put the
No,
ball in the
I'm
back of
done.
the net, not
I just
doing
want
that either.
go ahead.
Unfortunately,
What did you say, Dante?
he doesn't put the ball in the back of the net either. Unfortunately,
Yeah, he looks. There are in tight spaces he struggles to get a hold of the ball. It has to be like him and open net in most cases.
yeah. Even Bobby said the chance he had when he came on, that should have been a goal. But again, he was that gassed out. He basically fell over and hit the post out of out of balance as well. And again, it comes down to that when he needs to do the stuff that you need a striker to do, like shoot, have your balance, take the shot correctly, put in the back of the net. He struggles a lot in those because
And
he's
then sometimes
gassed
he
out.
struggle. He scores the most difficult ones.
Yeah, yeah. But
He's that sort
the
of
other
player.
ones that routine, he doesn't score at all.
Yeah. All right. Jao has emphasized that family is everything to him, and also always mention God first in his interview. There's a difference between self confidence and arrogance. Let me say this, Ty. Have you ever heard? Haven't you heard before that? For instance, those that are trying, I don't want to use a language that's gonna, you could say, lead to this particular video being demonetized. Those that you could say force others to take something that aren't theirs by force. Sometimes seeing kid in the room could lead to them turning around and leaving. Does that mean they're nice people? No. Even the worst people in the world have family, and their worstness, if such word exists, ends once it comes to them talking about their protecting their family or talking about their family, or the moment you mention their family, they lose it. I'm not sure how else to correct it. That is no, for the fact that it's been mentioning God doesn't mean that he's, you can say, a humble individual. I'm not saying he's not, but these things you've mentioned doesn't tell us whether he's humble or not. Remember, the Bible says, what's that verse? Those screaming, God, 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 something to that effect.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd remember that the
Those
Bible.
that call me, they can say, ah, why did I forget it?
You never a church coach. What are you talking about? You
But
never
you
go.
get the point, Ty. This is no indication that he's humble, and vice versa. You get the point. So I'm just, but it's a good thing you mentioned it. I've given you my opinion. But if that's how you decide whether someone, you can say, knows God, I can mention a few people that mention God that deep down, yeah. If they, let me just shut up. Okay, Essugo is not the Caicedo replacement. He's not, never was. Just, you can say, to rotate with him, had he been fit, I don't think Caicedo would have played as much he's played already. Replacement you want to start and UEFA Champions League Premier, he's still learning. Very, very, very raw. Not as experienced as Caicedo. He's more of a player from bench to finish the game. Caicedo is doing extraordinary thing, risky, and I'd like Essugo as an understudy to Caicedo. Eventually, he'd become as good. What we want is for him to be good enough that the manager will look at the game we have next and say, Caicedo, you be on the bench. If need be, I'll bring you on, but let the Essugo start this one. You want every player available on the bench to be able to do an equally good job when called upon, or an even better job. That's what we want. And Essugo, I think he's still raw. Talk about somebody being a shin kicker. He's one at the moment. But as he matures, and I'm guessing under, you could say, under the tutelage of Enzo Maresca, eventually he'd become more polished.
Yeah. And
Uh,
under Caicedo, let's not forget, he would
under
train every day
Caicedo
with
too, yeah.
Caicedo. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually he'd become more polished. So what else do we have here? Let's see. This reads the reasoning for playing James in midfield is a fair argument. The issue is that you also need him for wide support for the right attacker, because Gusto is also still working on his consistency. I mean, he doesn't play in the midfield again constantly. Sometimes you say even in a single game you see him drift to, yeah, to fullback position. We're one injury away to Caicedo away from facing a disaster in any season. Let me even if Live is 100% fit, he's excellent. You could say in helping us beat the press, orchestrate transition moves. But in terms of shielding our defensive line, I don't trust him. But that's just me. I don't think he's capable of doing that effectively. But what he can do excellently is help us beat the press, play out from the back, and then orchestrate an attacking move. Even Andreas Sanchez cannot protect our defensive line as good as Caicedo can. The person that has the energy and the mobility and plays in a manner that eventually, when he becomes polished, he'll be as close as Essugo. The issue with Endrick is his attitude, not necessarily arrogance solely, but as Dante mentioned about Andres Santos' personal life as well as personality, there is a contrast with Endrick also. Yeah, okay, let's see what else we have here. Got married young, but his arrogance, and also he was injured during the Club World Cup period and at the early part of this season. So that's another issue. But you could say he hardly played under Carlo Ancelotti even before he got injured. Guy is available, but he constantly picks George to come off the bench because George can offer more than just wait to put away the ball. Pay attention to the approach. Wira or Wyra, I don't know which is the most correct way to pronounce your name. The man, we almost always play with a fluid approach in the front area, everywhere on the pitch, actually. And Gui, off the ball, he's excellent. On the ball, a huge comma or question mark. That's the problem. So that's if you want me to explain it, that's the best I can do in terms of explaining the reason why he picks George over Mike Gee. Gee doesn't have, again, other or just the pressing. More importantly, as Dante will tell you, beyond that, and if he presses, if he doesn't get enough service, he'd practically be useless. You could see, you'd watch him for 45 minutes and hate watching him play the rest of the game because it'd be difficult to watch because all he does is run around. If you get my point, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Everything comes down to the manager's approach. Sign Endrick. Let's see if that happens. Endrick hasn't done anything to impress me. I'd take him for 20 million. Though Madrid selling him for 20 million, no, it's not going to happen. The lab could be suspended. Pedro rested, and yet Maresca will have Guy bench in favor of a given judge time in the 9 whilst his left wing is taken up by Garnacho. Doesn't always make sense. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion to see it how you deem fit, but I've tried to explain to you the reason he picks George over McGee is
Let me address
George.
that, coach, as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just so Wira understands. So Guy came back from loan, and I think he's talking about that period for 4 or 5 weeks. He didn't play at all, and he had opportunity to play, and George played. Now, Maresca told you why he did not pick Guy. He was asked, and he told you at the press conference why he did not pick Guy in those 4 weeks after he came back from Sunderland. he was not training well enough to the standards that he was not happy how he was training. That's why he was not playing the first 4 weeks when he came back.
And not training well could be, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, could be down to him not being able to apply himself the way he wants, because off the ball, I don't think it'd be correct to say he's awful. He doesn't offer enough with regards to how Maresca likes to approach the game.
Yes. Yeah, but after that
On the
interview,
ball,
he
so to
said-
speak.
yeah, after that interview, he said he's trained well now the last week, and he will play the next couple of games. He'll have he'll probably play. And what happened? He played, came off the bench, then he started a full game, then he came off the bench now again. So I don't know where people get this, that Maresca didn't play. You're not there at training. You don't see what's happening. It could be something small, but something very small could be very important for Maresca and his assistants that he's not doing right. So, but Maresca answered your question why he wasn't. Very simple. So I don't know what people need more clarity on this one for, because Maresca has made it very clear why that was the case.
Yeah. All right. Guy needs Strasbourg loan because I don't see him again. Yeah, I think he needs to do that. And here, what do we have? Everything Garnacho scores. Every time Garnacho scores a goal, he never continues pushing to add more goal involvement, being wasteful with ball position and all that. Okay, if that's how you see it, knock yourself out. Guy needs Strasbourg. What am I hearing about a player who had to earn his that's you being sentimental. Yeah, he had to end his loan spell because the club needed him at the time. And who employs Guy? The club. They call him back when they feel like they need him. Yeah, it doesn't matter really. We have others that aren't even coming close to the first team, like the Sissi and Raheem Sterling. Guy is a developing player, and he needs to play week in, week out. Unfortunately, the club called him back, and I didn't like that because I knew he was going to find it difficult to play. That was Q's first EPL start. I'm not holding anything against him. I just know overall how he applies himself on the pitch. He will almost always find it difficult to play for Enzo Maresca. The way you guys are decent, nobody's dissing him. We're discussing his football, and you've heard me say his you could say his profile. You heard me say 1,000 times that he's not a bad player. He's not. Everything comes down to the manager's approach. And unfortunately, he will almost always find it difficult to play. It's cup games and all that. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's not be sentimental here, Wira. What else do we have here? Ty says, character limits prevented me from explaining everything fully. I'm not saying that just those things are. No, I'm working with what you gave me, Ty. I have to work with what you gave me. So a lot to read. Unfortunately, I can't read everything we have in the chat because I have to run soon to go help my boys get ready for school. So just saying, I want this on record, Coach. You want Chelsea to go into a season with Caicedo guaranteed injury prone. No, you don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're looking like for Lavia, Lavia never going to do what Caicedo does. He's different. If you need a 6, let's use that term, 6, that's capable of shielding our the defensive line effectively, Lavia isn't the guy. That's why you see them both on the pitch. Both don't apply themselves the same way whenever they're on the pitch.
Yeah, Coach, and mostly Maresca used Lavia with another DM, like I said, next to him. Always in the big games, let's not forget, it was 2 defensive midfielders, not 1. Mm-hmm. What you're trying to say is that Lavia can't do Caicedo's role alone, which I agree with, yes.
He cannot.
No.
He cannot. We will be excellent going forward, but in terms of, you say, shielding our defensive line, no. So here... Yeah, this says Jackson has little interest in returning to Chelsea despite the 65 million obligation, which comes with his 16.5 million euros loan being difficult to achieve. He hopes, even if it doesn't meet the 40 game clause, that Bayern will commit to signing him permanently. Do I think this happens? No, I think he already knows. But is that sort of situation where you back yourself in a corner and out of shame, you don't admit you made mistake? But unfortunately for him, he probably knows he's not welcome back at Chelsea again. I'm not saying Gui was wrong to be loaned out. No, he wasn't. I'm saying you could argue it'd be correct to say he was wrong to have called him back, knowing fully well that he's not going to play enough to continue developing properly. I will, yeah, I agree to that to a certain measure.
But
But
coach,
one
how much
point
would
I'm
Gear be
trying to
playing at
make,
Sunderland?
there
The
are
way
no
their strikers are
sentiments
playing,
here. The
the
club
way their
wants him back.
Sunderland strikers
Go
are
ahead,
playing,
go ahead.
how much will he play at Sunderland?
Sorry.
The way Sunderland have been playing, especially their strikers,
Yeah,
and they've got a third striker as well. How much game time would Gear really have got there? To be honest, probably not as much.
yeah. So that's a good observation. He wasn't actually playing a lot there. I get it. The season just started at the time, but there's no guarantee he'd play enough games. But I get you. We're here says, why are we talking up Essugo to help out with Lavia? No, they're not the same. Essugo cannot do what Lavia does. If anything, he's just you could say leaning. His profile is similar to that of Caicedo. I don't know him as being, maybe he's capable of beating the press, but that's not what he's known for. Lavia in that particular role is very, very unique. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, look, Lavia till coach comes back. I don't know if you want to add anything, Bobby. Yeah, uh, Lavia, we love Lavia. He's a great player. He's not that type of guy to play alone as a defensive mid. Yes, another defensive mid next to him, like Caicedo or Essugo, some. Yes, no problem. But alone, it's asking him to do a lot more, and that's the defensive side, the screening, running side, closing down a lot to do that work. That's not really his game. His game is more breaking the press, controlling the ball, more in possession than actually defensively. So yeah, and that's why Maresca's always played him in a two defensive midfielder when he's
I
played.
don't,
So
to a certain measure, I think it'd be correct to actually say Lavia isn't actually, that sort of thing that Les Lugochukwu does very well. Like, he's not the quickest, but he's good at, you can say, reading the game and blocking the passing lanes. Lavia is even actually excellent at doing that. His thing
no,
is progressing the ball.
yeah, and also his physique. He's shorter, strong but shorter, so short legs. He doesn't cover that much distance. Very different. Yes, he's not fast. Lavia's not fast. He's got an acceleration off the spot, but then after that, he doesn't run. He's not fast at all. So yeah, look, very pretty much what we said. That's why they're playing a two when he plays most of the time
Yeah.
because he needs that protection next to him.
So here, where I say is when we constantly seen Santos not given a chance to play next to Caicedo, Enzo being picked instead hasn't been fruitful every game. Okay, if that's how you want to see it, I think Santos is still learning the way Enzo Maresca wants him to apply himself whenever he's picked. Even Enzo Fernandez, it took him a while to start playing as Maresca wants him to play. And yeah, so I'm not surprised that he hasn't been playing constantly. And yeah, he's played good enough games, in my opinion, even a lot more than I thought he'd play by now. Let's see what else we have here. And okay, Ty is talking to Weira there in training, and Jay is saying we need Anderson or Watton, and I cannot emphasize this enough. If you think Essugo can do a job of Kaiser in terms of protecting the defensive line, he can. But you just want already proven players. Maybe we look at them. If we sign them, I'd take them. But I'm just telling you what I think Essugo can. We're okay, having a conversation there. And Aziz King, do you think we miss Nicholas Jackson? Nope. We're done. If you think we missed him, how many games did he play at the Club World Cup? Start counting from there. Did we win the Club World Cup? You answer that question. So for the Nicholas Jackson case, as I've explained, I think him saying this, if in fact he said that, it's just like when you back yourself in a corner by yourself and out of shame wanting to prove to others you could say that you were right to have done whatever led to you finding yourself in that corner. Shamefully, you just stick there, stay there, and pretend everything is fine. And already probably he's regretting leaving, in my opinion, because had he stayed, I don't think he'd be complaining for game time. I don't think so. We have enough games for to say to go around. Maresca has never started Santos in the pivot. Santos, how did he play at Strasbourg? He's more of a box-to-box midfielder. So eventually, listen, he will come
And a
good.
DM.
And the DM, yeah. So
He
he
played
will
half
come
half
good.
at
So
Strasbourg.
relax. Maresca likes him from what I've seen. Relax and pay attention to this. Maresca is an idealistic manager, which means as a newcomer, which yeah, definitely, Andres Santos is a newcomer. It would take you a while to fully download, or maybe what's the language I'm looking for, and get used to the way he wants you to apply yourself whenever you're picked. So relax, Wira. You see that happen. His style of play helps the team, but the lab, he's not doing anything. Who exactly is he mentioning there? So what else do we have here? And around Benoît Badiashile is progressing well with his rehabilitation, and there's a chance of him returning to the squad against Bali, though the Frenchman is yet to take part in full training. I don't trust him to, to recover and stay fit anymore. I'm concerned. And every transfer window, like what's my bro from the Green Top says, he gets injured. Essugo will be sidelined for a while, but it is possible he could return around January. At first, we heard December. So maybe we've changed from, you can say, bringing player back the moment they recover to giving them enough time to fully recover. That's how I see it. But one thing Jay said in the chat that I agree, that I don't believe Lavia comes back in a month. We've been there before. You can say, experienced a situation where his status always says a few days turn to 1 month, 2 months, and then on. It was a while. So
Yeah,
these
but the
on
injury,
Cole
coach,
Palmer
the
reads Cole
injury.
Palmer.
Sorry,
Sorry.
the injury is just a strain of the thigh. It's not like a tear or something more serious. So, I mean, he should be back by that time, no problem, because it's not that bad as he had previous, where he was out a long time.
Yeah. All right. Cole Palmer's return to team training is fairly close. Ideally, Palmer will be available for Barcelona in the Champions League on November 25th. Naturally, Chelsea have not wanted to rush him back. Please don't do that. What else do we have here? Wira is saying here that Santos needs time. Then the next move in his career after Strasbourg should have been a loan move. You need time. You're seeing it from a different perspective, irrespective of how good you are. When you switch club, usually you need time, except if the manager approaches the game just like the manager you played under before you arrived at the new club. Even if they play the same way, if they approach the game the same way, you still need time to develop good chemistry with your teammates. Needing time isn't with regards to how good he is or he's an excellent player. And Maresca is an idealistic manager, which means irrespective of how good you are, you might need time to adapt. That it's not, it has nothing to do about his abilities. Please get that. Okay. One question. No, you can't even sell an injured player, first of all. Even if he recovers and you want to sell him, I don't think you get anything close to how much you paid for him. Because yeah, how when last did he play? Coach, your approach on Nico is wrong. How many friendlies did Maresca play him before the season started? Nico wasn't going to get minutes. That's just an assumption, bro, from you. Yeah. So anything else, guys, before we call it a day?
That's about it, coach. Just to answer that, Wira again, he's saying it's not beneficial for Santos to be with us. I think it's super beneficial for him to be with us, learn the system, learn the players around him, train every day with them. I think that's way more beneficial to be around Maresca. Assistants know what they want. Behind world class players like Caicedo, Enzo, to look up to see how they do it. I think that's way more beneficial. And he's still playing because he's playing.
Mhm.
We have 2 games a week. He's been playing. Uh, so that is way more beneficial than him going out on loan to Nottingham Forest, how he did, and just playing every now and then with a completely different system, different style of play. I think it is much more beneficial that he's with the team.
Yeah, congratulations, Dante. He says, I must say for the first time, Dante Wi-Fi didn't drop. All right, people, thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. I think we will continue this at a later time. Maybe if we do an evening show. I'm basing it my viewpoint of Santos' office a display for Brazil, and it's never at camp. Every manager, you can say, has an idea on how they want a player to approach, you can say, apply themselves. He's an Obi Mikel type of player, so either a pivot or was an 8. I think he's a hybrid. He's a box-to-box in my opinion. But thank you, Wira, for joining. Thank you, IB. Thank you, Aziz. Who else was here? Bobby was also here. Thank you, Ty. And Tobeho, later on, I'll do the collaboration thing so that the live event too now will show on your channel. And Aziz, thank you, Wira. All of you. Who else was here? Jay also was here. Bobby was here. And then Constantine done too. The captain of the community, I appreciate you finding the time to join. And then Tabeho also on the panel. I appreciate you all. God bless us all. And cheers.
Take care, guys. Cheers.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue.